Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. Today we're doing look 2 of the Ankara series. Now if you're new here, and by the way, do subscribe to my channel and like this video. So if you're new here, I'm doing 10 different Ankara looks for 10 occasions, and I already made look 1. It's an Owambe, the wedding guest dress. The video is scheduled for 5 p.m. today. I will be making an office look for Friday, although the Ankara that I chose is very minimalist, and I think it can actually work for any day if you're in an organization where patterns are allowed, colors are allowed, and all of that. But whatever. In the next few hours, I have to head out to dinner as well, so I'm not sure I'll be able to get much work in, but we're going to do what we can and continue the rest on another day. Now this is the design. I drew it with a pen today so that it could actually be clearer than the last time. So this is like a slanted thing going on here. This part is going to be white. These are 2 different sleeves because I'm undecided as to what to do. And there's a detail I missed out on that should be up here at the shoulders. Yeah, I would also be pairing it with black lining. The black lining I got when I went to buy the Ankara. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make probably the bodice and the skirt. I should be able to finish cutting this thing before I head out. If not the sleeves, like just the bodice and the skirt. I'm so sorry if you can hear background noise. I feel like I need to apologize for this all the time in my videos. I do live in a noisy area and I just think I can make it work anyway. So I'll see you guys later. I use my basic bodice patterns in their very basic forms. So here's me just cutting out the back and then the front bodices, though I would go on to deep the necks on both of them by about 1 inch each much later in my process. By the way, seam allowances are already included. Moving on to my skirt, I did what I normally do. I measured the waist circumference and then I added seam allowance to that. And I measured the distance between my waist and my hip. That's a vertical distance. And I added seam allowance of 1/2 inch to that. I measured my hip circumference on that and I added seam allowance as well. I went down a bit to measure the circumference of my legs, and I usually simply deduct 1.5 to 2 inches from the hip circumference to get that. So I drew out the lines and the curves and I dropped the waist by 1/2 inch. I'm cutting out the skirt now, and this piece, which is the back piece by the way, you can tell by the fact that 2 centimeters zipper allowance is folded in and pinned. I'm going to use it as a pattern for literally everything else, starting from the front that I cut on this white piece. Next is the front extension. I measured about 6.5 inches from the hem of the skirt and I drafted a straight line to serve as a guide for the added length of the extension. I opened up the back piece and I traced out the pattern using my chalk wheel at the side seam and then at the top as well. I drew out the new length of the extension, and then I found a spot that's about 3/4 ways into the other half of the waist, and I drew a vertical line here all the way down. Next, I threw the back piece away and then I drew slanted lines from the side seam and also down the length of the skirt. And at this point I was done, so what I did was to cut out this piece and to then use this one as a pattern to make a duplicate. In making your duplicate, you want to make sure that right sides are facing, otherwise you're going to end up with the very same thing and one of them would be useless, so pay attention to that. This is my extension. Hi guys, long time no update. This is literally the night of day 2. It's 10:20 p.m. Okay. Thankfully, I've already cut out all the pieces and I went to work all night to make sure that I complete this dress tonight and I get around to editing. The pieces are right here. Basically, I think it's a simple dress, really. I just have to go in with the dots and then go in with putting everything together and add the zipper. I feel like I've done that so much on this channel and there might be no need to film that part, but it's okay. I'm still gonna film it. Yeah. Next time I'm going to give an update would be when it's time to make the sleeves, which until now I still haven't decided on. But I think I'm likely to go for like bishop sleeves. I'll see you guys. I sewed all my dots. It was a lot. I should mention that each of the front and back pieces, except for the extension, had a lining equivalent, and that for the skirt, the lining is 2 inches shorter than the actual Ankara. So these are all the pieces laid out. I went on to stitch the tops to the bottoms first, and then I would go on to insert the zipper, and then here we are. After this, I put the front and back together, and then I stitched one of the sides together. And after that, what I did was to go in with a fusible hemming tape. And by the way, never ever use a black hemming tape in a white dress or in a white fabric. I made that mistake, so you wouldn't, okay? Now remember my extension, there are 2 of them. I stitched all the sides together except for the side seam. Once I was done stitching, I turned it inside out and then I placed it over the front skirt where it belongs, and I flipped the back skirt over it, and now I would go on to stitch the second side short as well. Now we have a dress. Hey guys, I've completed the dress, sculpted it to perfection. Next thing I want to do is to make the sleeves. And I finally decided on sleeves to make. So I'm going to use my basic sleeve pattern. To just go ahead and make the sleeves. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see the end of this vlog. And give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I'll catch you later. Now the slim part of the sleeve is 19 inches long, so this pattern was only 20 inches long to accommodate sewing allowances. I cut it out, and next I measured the width of the lower part of the sleeve, and it was about 10.5 inches. So bearing that in mind, I measured about half of it, 4.5 inches from the corner of this folded fabric, and then I made an arc. When I measured the arc, it came to about 7.5 inches, and when you multiply that by 2, considering this is a folded fabric, it came to 15 inches. This was enough to make gathers. Now from this arc, I measured 10 inches, which was the length of this extension. Then I began to gradually increase the length by 0.5 inches as I moved on across. You don't have to do that. I just wanted to have a high-low effect. So I cut it out at the head and the hem, and then I made another one. Now it's time to stitch my sleeves. First thing I did was stitch them together at the sides, and then for these attachments, I sewed the sides together. I top stitched the hems, and now I had them looking like this. After which I first found the middle point, and then I made gathers with the top of the attachment. I pinned the gathered part to the sleeve and I stitched, and then I inserted the sleeve into my dress and I stitched again.